In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 8 Canadian milk brands with recall histories involving sanitizer residues, spoilage issues, and harmful contaminants that never should have reached your refrigerator. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which cartons to avoid and which 5 brands actually deserve your trust and your family's help. Stay with me until the very end, because what I share about the #1 safest brand will completely transform your next grocery trip. Let's start with what might be sitting in your fridge right now. 8. Dairyland. Starting at number 8, Dairyland has been a fixture in Canadian households for generations. But recent history tells a concerning story that longtime customers deserve to know. In September 2021, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency issued a recall for Dairyland's 1% partly skim milk due to sanitizer residue contamination. Think about that for a moment. Sanitizer, the chemical used to clean equipment, ended up inside the milk itself. But that wasn't an isolated incident. Just 2 years later, in October 2023, the CFIA issued another notification, this time for Dairyland lactose-free partly skimmed milk recalled due to possible spoilage. 2 separate recalls within a span of just over 2 years signals a pattern rather than a one-time mistake. For older adults especially, consuming spoiled dairy can lead to serious gastrointestinal distress that our bodies recover from more slowly than they did in younger years. 7. Nielsen TrueTaste. At number 7, Nielsen. TrueTaste shares some troubling parallels with Dairyland, and what emerges is a pattern that should concern anyone pouring this milk into their morning coffee. In October 2023, the same month as Dairyland's spoilage recall, Nielsen TrueTaste lactose-free, partly skimmed milk was also recalled due to possible spoilage. For those who've turned to lactose-free options for digestive comfort, discovering that the supposedly safer alternative carries its own contamination risks feels like a betrayal of trust. But here's where Nielsen's history gets even more concerning. Go back to January 2012, and you'll find a CFIA news release announcing that Nielsen TrueTaste 2% microfiltered, partly skimmed milk may contain a cleaning solution, triggering a health hazard alert. That's not just any contaminant, that's industrial cleaning chemicals mixed with the milk families we're serving to children and elderly parents. The fact that this brand experienced a cleaning solution contamination over a decade ago, then faced a spoilage recall more recently, suggests that whatever lessons should have been learned from that 2012 incident didn't translate into permanent improvements in production safety. 6. Beatrice. Moving to number 6, Beatrice carries nostalgic weight for many Canadians who grew up seeing that familiar name in refrigerators across the country. But nostalgia can't protect us from contamination, and Beatrice's record demands our attention. In March 2016, the CFIA recalled Beatrice chocolate partly skimmed milk 1% because of sanitizer presence. There's that word again, sanitizer, the same industrial chemical that has no business anywhere near the inside of a milk container. What makes this particularly troubling is the product involved, chocolate milk. Think about who typically reaches for chocolate milk: children coming home from school, grandchildren visiting for the weekend, families treating it as a special occasion beverage. The recall notice specifically identified distribution in Ontario and Quebec, meaning thousands of families across 2 of Canada's most populated provinces potentially had contaminated chocolate milk in their refrigerators. 5. Natrel. Approaching the middle of our list at number 5, Natrel appears in recall notices with concerning frequency that suggests systemic issues beyond simple accidents. In October 2014, the Government of Canada announced that AgroPur Cooperative, which produces Natrel, recalled certain milk products due to spoilage. Spoiled milk reaching consumers means that somewhere in the production, storage, or distribution chain, temperature controls or quality checks failed completely. But the real alarm bell rings with the 2017 recall. A CFIA-linked recall notice from AgroPur included multiple milk brands, Natrel among them, due to potential presence of harmful extraneous material. Read those words carefully, harmful extraneous material. The recall documentation doesn't specify exactly what that material was, which in some ways makes it more unsettling. For older consumers who may have compromised immune systems or who are managing chronic health conditions, any harmful extraneous material in a staple food product represents a serious health threat. 4. PC Organics. At number 4, we encounter something that might surprise many health-conscious shoppers: PC Organics, the private label organic brand from Loblaw that many of us have turned to specifically because we wanted cleaner, safer food options. The organic label suggests higher standards, third-party certification, and production methods that prioritize purity. Yet in October 2014, PC Organics appeared on that same Government of Canada recall involving AgroPur cooperative products, this time due to spoilage. This one stings differently because organic products typically command premium prices that older adults on fixed incomes or careful budgets pay specifically because we believe we're investing in superior safety and quality. Loblaw describes PC Organics products as third-party certified under organic standards, language that creates confidence and justifies the higher price point. For those of us who carefully compare prices, do the math, and choose to spend extra for organic options. Discovering that even these premium products can fail. Fundamental safety standards feels like a breakdown of the implicit contract between consumer and retailer. 3. Irresistibles Bio. Coming in at number 3, Irresistibles Bio represents Metro's answer to the organic private label market, and it shares the same troubling history as PC Organics. The October 2014 AgroPur Cooperative recall that affected multiple brands included Irresistibles Bio products, once again due to spoilage. Metro identifies Irresistibles as one of its private brands, store brands that major retailers develop to build customer loyalty and offer alternatives to national brands. What this recall reveals is that private label organic products, regardless of which major grocery chain produces them, aren't immune to the same production and distribution failures affecting conventional milk. The store brand organic milk you're choosing to save a few dollars while still getting organic benefits has the same spoilage vulnerability as any other milk in the AgroPur production system. For older adults making careful choices about nutrition and food safety, understanding that even organic private labels aren't automatically superior helps us make more informed decisions. 2. Lucerne. At number 2, Lucerne brings us back to that significant 2017 recall, the one involving multiple AgroPur-produced brands, and the ominous phrase, harmful extraneous material. The CFIA-linked recall notice specifically described the hazard as harmful extraneous material and included multiple milk products and brands distributed throughout Western Canada. For families across British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, Lucerne has been a grocery staple for decades, a name synonymous with reliable dairy products at reasonable prices. The fact that this brand appears in a recall involving potential tampering, which the documentation mentions was investigated, adds a layer of concern beyond typical production errors. Tampering suggests intentional contamination, an external threat that production facilities are supposed to defend against through security measures and packaging integrity checks. Whether the harmful extraneous material came from tampering or from failures within the production process, the result is the same. Lucerne milk reached distribution channels with something inside it that shouldn't have been there, something harmful enough to trigger a safety alert. For Western Canadian seniors who've trusted Lucerne for generations, who remember when you could leave your milk delivery on the porch without a second thought about safety, this recall represents yet another reminder that the food safety landscape has fundamentally changed. 1. Island Farms. Taking the #1 spot as the brand demanding the most caution, Island Farms appeared in that same 2017 recall alongside Lucerne, once again involving the potential presence of harmful extraneous material that authorities investigated as possible tampering. The recall notice lists affected products and brands, with Island Farms prominently included among those distributed in Western Canada. This represents the most serious type of recall, one where the contamination is described as harmful rather than merely a quality issue, where tampering is considered as a potential explanation. What places Island Farms at the top of our avoidance list is the combination of the severity of that 2017 incident and the question marks it leaves for consumers. We still don't know exactly what the harmful extraneous material was. We don't know definitively whether it was tampering or a production failure. For British Columbia families especially, where Island Farms has been a regional favorite for years, this recall strikes at the heart of what we expect from our food supply. The fact that Island Farms milk was involved in such a serious recall, with language suggesting potential deliberate contamination, makes it impossible to recommend this brand with confidence until we see clear evidence of comprehensive safety improvements. The good news: after walking through 8 brands with concerning recall histories, here's the relief you've been waiting for. Not every milk brand in Canadian stores has failed basic safety standards. Not every dairy producer treats contamination as an acceptable cost of doing business. These next 5 brands have earned their place on grocery shelves through consistent quality, simpler ingredients, and practices that prioritize what matters most, delivering safe, nutritious milk to your family. 5. Avalon Dairy Organic Milk. Starting our safer list at number 5, Avalon Dairy brings us organic milk with the transparency and simplicity that should be standard across the industry. When you examine Avalon's organic milk product listings, you find exactly what should be there: certified organic milk plus vitamin D3, and for some reduced fat varieties, vitamin A palmitate. That's it. No mysterious ingredients, no complicated processing, just organic milk, with the vitamin fortification that Canadian regulations require. What sets Avalon apart is their proud claim as home of British Columbia's first organic milk, a distinction that speaks to decades of commitment to organic dairy production. The certified organic designation means independent third parties verify that the dairy follows strict standards regarding pesticide use, animal treatment, and production methods. When you pour Avalon organic milk into your morning coffee, you're getting milk from cows raised without routine antibiotics, without synthetic hormones, on feed grown without prohibited pesticides. 4. Harmony Organic. At number 4, Harmony Organic demonstrates that organic dairy production can work at national scale without sacrificing quality or transparency. This brand produces organic dairy products including milk and serves Canada nationally through selected retailers, bringing certified organic options to communities across the country. What's particularly reassuring about Harmony Organic is their willingness to provide detailed information about their farms and processing facilities directly on their website content. That transparency matters more than you might think. When a dairy company freely shares information about where and how they process milk, it signals confidence in their operations and respect for consumers who want to know what they're buying. Organic milk is more perishable than conventional milk because it's not ultra-pasteurized to extend shelf life artificially. The fact that Harmony successfully delivers organic milk coast to coast while maintaining certification standards speaks to operational excellence that goes beyond just meeting minimum requirements. 3. Hewitt's Dairy. Claiming the number 3 spot, Hewitt's Dairy offers something increasingly rare in modern food production: radical simplicity. Visit their milk product page, and you'll find ingredient statements that read like what milk ingredients should be. Partly skimmed milk with vitamins A and D3. Skim milk with vitamin A, palmitate, and vitamin D3. Nothing else. No stabilizers, no mysterious additives, just milk and the required vitamin fortification. But Hewitt's goes further with a straightforward declaration that matters deeply to Canadian consumers who care about supporting local agriculture. Their milk is made with 100% Canadian milk. The simple ingredient lists also matter for those of us managing specific dietary needs or sensitivities, or for those who simply prefer to know exactly what we're consuming. When your milk contains only milk and vitamins, you eliminate entire categories of potential allergens, additives, and processing agents that appear in more complicated formulations. 2. Scotsburn. At number 2, Scotsburn delivers consistency and simplicity that maritime families have trusted for generations. Retail and manufacturer listings for Scotsburn Milk show standard ingredient lists limited to Milk Plus. Added vitamins, vitamin D3 and vitamin A palmitate for partly skimmed varieties. Nothing exotic, nothing concerning, just milk fortified with the vitamins that Canadian regulations require and that our bodies need for calcium absorption and immune health. What's particularly reassuring is that Scotsburn publishes product-specific pages for their entire milk line, covering skim, 1%, 2%, and homogenized options. Scotsburn's regional strength in Atlantic Canada means they've built their reputation serving communities where everyone knows everyone, where word of mouth travels fast and quality problems would destroy a brand overnight. When you reach for Scotsburn, You're choosing milk from a dairy that's answerable to the people it serves, milk made with the simplicity and honesty that should define this most basic of foods. 1. Quebon. Taking the #1 spot as the safest Canadian milk brand you can buy, Quebon combines simplicity, transparency, and verification in ways that set the gold standard for what milk should be. Manufacturer product specification pages list ingredients for Quebon milk as simply milk and vitamin D3 for their homogenized milk examples. That's the entire list. When ingredient statements are that short, that clear, that uncomplicated, it eliminates entire categories of concern that plague other brands. But what truly sets Quebon apart is their inclusion in the Dairy Farmers of Canada brand listing under the Blue Cow brand catalog. That Blue Cow logo you see on Quebon products isn't just decoration, it's a verified commitment that the milk is made with Canadian milk and milk ingredients. The combination of minimal ingredients, transparent specifications, and verified Canadian sourcing makes Quebon the brand that checks every box for safety, quality, and integrity. When you pour Quebon milk over your morning cereal, add it to your coffee, or serve it to visiting grandchildren, you know exactly what you're getting, making better choices moving forward. Now you know the truth about 8 Canadian milk brands with recall histories involving sanitizers, spoilage, and harmful contaminants, and you know the 5 brands that deliver milk the way it should be: simple, safe, and transparent. Before your next grocery trip, remember what really matters in milk: minimal ingredients, clear sourcing, and a company track record that shows consistent commitment to safety rather than repeated recalls. If this information changed how you'll shop for milk from now on, share it with family and friends who deserve to know which brands they can trust.